Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us on this first ever Ipswich Town Google Plus Hangout. I'm delighted to say Tommy Smith has joined us. Tommy, hard day's training ahead of the big one on Saturday.
Yeah, not that hard to be honest. Obviously, with a midweek game, we've just been resting and recovering today. The lads that didn't play have had their training session, but everyone's just gearing towards Saturday now.
We've got Ashley, Mary, Matthew, and Ross with us today, and we're going to speak to them in just a second. But to the fans, this is the big one, isn't it? And all the lads know just how important it is to them.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, it's been 3.5 years since the last East Anglian derby, so everyone's really excited for this. The fans especially, it's their big one. And I've been trying to let the lads know just how important it is to them.
Yeah, you're the only one who was part of the side when we played them last time. So I guess it's down to you and the likes of Lukey Hyam to sort of push that message across.
Yeah, I think obviously the English-based lads have an idea of the importance of the fixture, but the new lads like Kevin and Balin, they've needed a little sort of explaining as to why it's so important and what it means to the fans.
Well, let's get straight into it. I'm going to go to Ross. Ross, what's your first question for Tommy?
Nice to meet you, Tommy. So my first question is, your defensive partner, Christoph Bearer. So how important has he been since joining town last summer? And how was it like playing alongside him?
Yeah, obviously he came in on a free transfer, and I think everyone would agree it's been fantastic for the club. It's been a great coup to get him for free. I think you'd be worth paying money for him anyway. So, and to be playing alongside him, obviously with his Premier League experience and international experience, can only be good for me and the team.
All right, cheers.
He certainly carried on where he finished last year as well. 2 goals against Birmingham. I think you was nearly on the end of one of them though.
Yeah, he just took it off my toe, but as long as someone's getting the goals, there's no problems there, and I'll just have to catch him up now.
Okay, we're going across now to Matthew. Matthew, what's your first question for Tommy?
I just wanted to know, with your centre-back partner, Christoph Bearer, do you have any competitions with how many goals you score each season?
It's a bit of friendly banter. I wouldn't say it's a serious competition, but I suppose it's always nice. Well, for me, last season I just picked him in the last game. So I'm sure he wants to get me back this season.
Thank you.
Certainly a threat from set piece, especially now, aren't we, mate, with so many tall defenders back there.
Yeah, you look at the size of the back four now with Tyrone and Chamber as well. Definitely a threat from set pieces, along with Murph, who gets his fair share of gold from set pieces as well.
We're going to go across to Mary. Mary, what's your question for Tommy?
Oh, hi, Tommy. There's a really good rapport between the fans and the team. How important is the noise from the fans?
Yeah, I think it's underestimated really, that if the lads can hear the fans backing us out on the pitch, it does make a real difference. I know the cliche is the so-called 12th man, but it really does make a difference, and at the moment the fans are brilliant with us. Last season was a big improvement on what we've had over the last few years, and the fans have really responded to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we saw just how the travelling numbers of the fans. Let's have a word with the ones who went to Birmingham in the week. So a long trip for a Tuesday night. Yeah,
it's a long trip, and I know how that M6 can be. So no, it's really good. Our away fans are always brilliant. So I remember last season Tuesday night away at Yeovil, a massive following, and like I said, it doesn't go unnoticed by us, and we really do appreciate all the support.
Just explain to the fans, Tommy, what it's like for a player. You sort of go down the night before, sometimes on the morning of the game. How do you kill the time in the hotel and things like that?
There is a lot of time to kill, as you know, and it does pay to have a good TV box set. I'll say that, to try and kill the time. But yeah, obviously we have the team things where we have meals together, team meetings and stuff, so that helps to sort of kill the time as well. But no, it's generally trying to keep yourself busy without exerting yourself too much to get your rest in for the game.
And it's always nice when there's a new player in the squad. What do they have to do at dinner?
Yeah, it's always nice. They have to do an initiation song. So we had a few of them the other night, which was quite good. It's always a good laugh, and it's always better if they're rubbish at singing. It's always a bit disappointing when someone steps up that's really good. So no, it's good. It's a good piece of banter, and it obviously integrates them into the squad fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's important to have that, isn't it? That team spirit.
Yeah, definitely. As you say, it brings the group closer together, and it gives everyone a good laugh as well.
Okay, we're going to go over to Ashley now. We haven't forgotten about you. What's your question for Tommy, Ashley?
Hi, how would you normally prepare for a game?
If it's a Saturday game, I'll get up in the morning, have a bit of breakfast, probably put Soccer AM on or something else on the telly just to relax before the game, have my pre-match meal, say goodbye to the girlfriend and shoot off to the game. Then when we get to the game, we usually have a team meeting sort of 2 hours before kick-off for a home match, and they go through the opposition's strengths and weaknesses, how we can get at them. And then we just back to the changing room, get yourself ready for the warm-up.
Yeah, you mentioned Soccer M there, Tom. We can't reveal the results, but chance for fans to tune in on Saturday. I think Ipswich are involved.
Yeah, we did the crossbar challenge last week, so if anyone's interested in watching how we got on, probably worth having a look.
Will do.
Okay, well, we've got you, Ross. What's your second question for Tommy?
It's a bit of an obvious one maybe, but which team are you looking forward to play the most this season?
Yeah, that's a bit of an easy one to answer. Thanks for that question. Obviously, this game Saturday is the massive one. You know, I played in the away fixture 3 or 4 years ago, but I've never played in the home fixture of a derby. So, for me personally, I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully, I'm sure we will, with the fans behind us, we'll get a positive result.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for that.
Tommy, you played in some great games at Portman Road, and the atmosphere should be electric on Saturday.
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be a full house there to watch us, and like I say, the rivalry between the teams, the tension's going to be there, the excitement, the anxiety, and that all adds to the occasion, you know, and hopefully we can put on a great spectacle on the day.
As you know, I'm in the tunnel before filming Tunnel Cam, and the lads are stood there. You can hear the noise, can't you? And it really does get you pumped up for a game.
It does, yeah. You can hear the sort of rumble of the fans as you're walking out, and it is a brilliant feeling, and it gets everyone really going.
Yeah. Okay, Matthew, what's your second question for Tommy?
What inspires you to play football week in, week out?
I don't really know where I draw my inspiration from, but all I know is ever since I can remember, I've been kicking the ball around. My dad was probably the one that got me into it. I remember he was my first coach, and ever since then I've never left football, and that's all I've ever wanted to be.
Okay, thank you.
You really see football. Also, I think there's a few other sports you like. Taking up your golf, I think.
Yeah, just recently over the past couple of years I've been trying to take golf a bit more seriously and trying to get better. It has its ups and downs, can be the most frustrating game in the world, but it's going alright. Handicap's slowly coming down.
Yeah, there's a few, obviously like the golf, certainly the gaffer. What about out in Ireland? Did you get a round in?
Yeah, when we were out there for pre-season, a few of us got a round in, and that is a tough course. Yeah, you need a step ladder to get out of the bunkers there, which I was finding myself in on nearly every hole. So should have taken a bucket and spade, really.
And you learn off the likes of Jay Tapp, who really takes it seriously.
Yeah, his technique's something else. You know, I think he's had a few lessons, and he really loves his golf. I think he's been involved in a few tournaments as well in the off season and done really well for himself. So, yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to Mary now. And Mary, what's your question for Tommy?
Okay, with such a strong team spirit evidence in the team, would you say that this is the key to the success for Ipswich?
I think so. For any successful team, the team spirit has to be there. I don't think you get anywhere if there's fractures within the squad. Everyone gets on well with each other. You know, there's a lot of banter thrown around, but we take it really seriously as well. Which is finding that balance right, and we've got that here.
Okay, thanks. And next question, please, Ashley.
Who did you look up to when you were growing up as a kid?
If I'm honest, I was a Liverpool fan, and my first hero was probably Robbie Fowler. He was in his prime when I was sort of 6 or 7, and I really enjoyed watching him banging the goals for Liverpool. And then as I've grown up, when I became a centre-half, I've been looking more at the top centre-halves, so probably Rio Ferdinand was the standout one for me that I used to look up to. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got to say about who I looked up to.
Thank you.
Obviously, your main focus is on Ipswich now, Tommy, but just keep an eye out on Liverpool and Premier League. It should be another interesting title race this year.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of strong teams there now, and I keep an eye on it. I wouldn't say I'm an avid fan anymore, like I once was. But no, I keep an eye on the results, and hopefully I can be up there or thereabouts this season.
Yeah, we've seen Brendan Rodgers really enhance his CV as a manager, certainly over the last year, and he's done it the hard way, really. He's done his apprenticeship over at Chelsea and then through lower league clubs, so to speak.
Yeah, I think he's done it the right way. I think it's very hard for managers who get thrust into a Premier League job straight away without too much experience. I think it's really hard for them to adjust to it and get used to that pressure situation. So I think he's gone about it the right way, and it looks like Liverpool are reaping the rewards from that.
Yeah, and on Brendan, obviously it didn't quite work out for him at Reading, but it was important that he was given another chance. He took them at Swansea and he took them on to the next level.
Yeah, obviously I think for anyone, if you get knocked down, it always shows the character of a person and whether they come back. And he's certainly done that and proved anyone who doubted him wrong.
Yeah, sort of echoes a bit what Mick's done here. He took us over at quite a low ebb, probably the lowest ebb we've been at, and we're pushing on and we're progressing.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. We're definitely improving, and hopefully we can go one step further this year and push into those playoffs.
Okay, let's have the next question, please, Ashley.
What are your aims for this season, personally and as a team?
Obviously, as a team, we want to push ourselves into the playoff positions and secure that. That would be the next step for us after a positive end to last season. For me personally, to be honest, to get as many clean sheets as possible as a centre-half, that's important to me, and to chip in with as many goals as I can to help the team.
Yep, thank you.
We mentioned earlier about sort of the friendly rivalry between you and Bears and the other lads about scoring the goals. We've spoken to Luke Hyam ahead of the Norwich game for pre-match press. He mentioned a little kitty the lads have put in, a bit of a challenge to be covered. Can you explain that?
Yeah. The gaffer suggested it actually. It's a little sweepstake. Everyone's had to put in a certain amount of money and had to guess how many goals they'll score this season. And if you get to your whatever you've put down for yourself, you get your money back. If not, that money goes to charity, and the 3 players furthest away from getting their target have to take the squad out for a meal at the end of the season. So you have to be quite realistic about it because you don't want to be paying for the squad's meal. So.
But again, that shows the good spirit and the banter within the group.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone was up for doing it, which is a good thing, and hopefully I can reach my target.
Yeah. Are we allowed to say the target, or is it closely under wraps?
I guess people will keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
It's down on record, so everyone knows what they've got to achieve, but most people are keeping it close to their chest.
Okay. We'll go over to Mary. A question for Tommy, please.
Okay, so it's probably an obvious one actually, but it's about Ipswich and Norwich. Do you think the long-standing rivalry between Town and Norwich will mean as much to the newer players as against those with a longer association with the club like yourself?
I think they'll realise how much it does mean. Myself and probably Luke Hyam being a local lad, we're trying to explain to them just how much it does mean to the town as a whole. And obviously we want the bragging rights. We don't want to think about it too much, but the last couple of times we've played against them, we got embarrassed really, so there's definitely some revenge there we need to take.
Okay, Matthew, you've got a question for Tommy, please?
Yeah, who is the best trainer in the camp?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think there's anyone that stands out, to be honest. Everyone trains hard. The gaffer's got a great group of characters. I know under squads previously that there might have been 1 or 2 that didn't put the effort in, but all the lads here, I don't think there's anyone that shirks any responsibility in training, so I don't think it would be right of me to single anybody out.
Right, thank you.
No problem.
That's something the gaffer and CC they demand of players, isn't it? Putting a shift in, working hard, that's to be expected.
Yeah, they say it's a prerequisite for the squad. If you're not doing that, simply put, you don't get in the team. So you have to put the effort in week in, week out, day in, day out. Otherwise, you'll find yourself out of the team.
We often hear training ground tales, if you like, of players trying different positions. Does that happen in training? When it's a bit of a free-for-all towards the end, perhaps someone going in goal or the goalie's thinking they can play out?
It doesn't happen with the goalies, but occasionally we play young be old most Fridays, and if you've got too many in one position, there might be someone that fancies himself playing in a different position, which can be good fun. by the time you're surprised by how well people cope there. But there is a couple of times that's happened. I know I found myself up front a couple of times, straight back to the back after that. But no, it's good fun, and it's nice to experience a different position every now and again. But like I say, everyone takes it seriously, so if it's not for you, you get straight back to your rightful position.
Yeah. And when you do young v old, does the manager get involved? We saw him out in Ireland sort of showing his skills.
He tries not to, but if we're struggling for numbers, sometimes he will join in. He's quite stiff, but you can see he's still got it.
Matthew, I think you've got another question for Tommy.
How were you spotted by the academy?
It's a good question. Basically, I was out in New Zealand playing for my school team, and there was a coach from a community centre coach out there on holiday, and he knew one of the lads who I was playing with, Dad, and he told him to come and watch the game to have a look at me. And then from that game, he invited me over for a 5-week trial, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Okay, thank you.
That's quite a unique route, really, isn't it, into football academy?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all, and to be honest, I wasn't thinking I'd be spotted out in New Zealand. I thought I'd have to come and push myself onto clubs by coming to England. But so for me, it was probably a case of being in the right place at the right time. So I'm thankful for that opportunity that was given to me.
Was that always the plan for you when you was out in New Zealand as a young lad? Was it to sort of serve your education and then come back to England, always wanting to be a professional footballer?
Yeah, without a doubt. Obviously, education is really important to get that behind you. And from there, I was always going to come and try and get trials at clubs. And luckily for me, one worked out really well for me, and haven't left the club since.
I know you're a big believer in the academy and what they're trying to do here. Disappointing though to miss out on the Category 1.
Yeah, obviously. I think it was something by 0.3% as well, which I'm struggling to understand really. I'm sure they could have given it, but we'll keep going and trying to get that Category 1 because it is important. And obviously over the years, the amount of players Ipswich have brought through is really good, and hopefully we can get back to that point again.
Yeah, and the supporters, they love their homegrown talents coming through, as you know, so it's important for them to see that the clubs still are pushing for it and still believe strongly in the academy.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, with our resources as well, it's important that we produce players because we don't really have the money to go out and spend 11 million on a striker like some clubs do. We have to try and produce our own talent and nurture it, and that's what the academy's been really good at over the years. And you've seen that now. There's a few good young players coming through. You've got your Matt Clark and Teddy Bishop making their debut in the Cup, and hopefully they can push on and become first-team regulars.
I know you didn't play in the game at Crawley, but you look around and as Ron showed there, you're sort of the senior guy there. It probably seems a bit weird for you, still being 24 years old.
Yeah, it seems like I've been here forever now. I've seen a lot of players come and go, but yeah, I probably see myself as more a senior pro now. Obviously, I've played a lot of games, and I'm no longer considered a youngster, which is a good thing. It shows I've moved on, progressed in my career.
Yeah, how important has the gaffer here been for you? Because he played before, but he really stamped his mark on you, pinned his hat on you and said, you're going to play for me, and you've had a real run in the team now for, 2-3 years?
Yeah, obviously I owe a lot to the gaffer. Like you say, he's probably the first gaffer that's given me the real run in the side. And I can only be grateful to him for that, and I'm really enjoying my football, and long may that continue.
As we've just mentioned then, he is a believer. If you're good enough, you'll get your chance. The young lads, he spoke highly of Matt Clark and Teddy Bishop. Just how good are they, and they must be trained with you? What do they bring to the squad?
Yeah, like I said, they're talented young boys. They've just got to crack on now, keep dedicated, and making sure they carry on improving because they're not too far away. And hopefully they can get themselves involved for a few more games this season.
Certainly, for someone like Clark who plays the same position as you, can you offer him advice? Because you've been in that situation where knocking on the first team door as a young lad, you can sort of say, look, this is how I did it, and hopefully you can learn from that.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to think if he wanted to ask me any questions, I'm open to coming to me. But I do in training, if it's more playing against people. So if I'm playing against, for instance, Jack Marriott in training, and I try and give him advice on how to cause me problems. With Clarkey, I don't really see him in training close up too much. But if he has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, I think we've done pretty much all of the questions. Is there any questions left, guys? Anyone wants to ask? There was a few spare ones. Ross, have you got one?
I've got one. As you've been with Ipswich Town for a long time now, what has been your most memorable Ipswich Town moment so far?
Ooh,
Good question.
very good question. I'd say probably when we beat West Ham 5-1 at home. Obviously, they were top of the league at the time, and we were going through a real rough patch. And to beat them 5-1 was probably the top moment for me so far in Ipswich shirt.
All right, cheers.
Yeah, incredible night that night, wasn't it?
It was.
5-1.
It was. Yeah.
Has anybody else got a question for Tommy, Matthew?
No, that's it for me. Yeah.
You got another question, Mary, or you?
No, I'm done now. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
cool.
you very much.
Okay, I think we'll probably end it. Ashley, have you got another question?
What was it like to be a part of the Olympics in 2012?
Yeah, it was amazing. Obviously, the country of my birth hosting the Olympic Games and playing for my adopted country. So it was a really good experience. Got to play at a couple of big stadiums as well. Played at Old Trafford and St James's Park. Fantastic experience and something I'll remember and cherish forever.
Yeah, thank you.
Certainly an incredible experience, and on top of that, the World Cup as well. Was for someone so young at the time, it was not bad TV.
No, to be honest, at the time I didn't realise just how big and important it was for me at that stage, and watching the World Cup in the summer and just how big it is around the world, it actually sunk in a little bit more then. So, no, a really proud moment for me, and something again that I'll never forget.
As I say, it was nice that it was in England as well. His family could come over, and that's a real proud moment for them to see you representing the All Whites.
Yeah, they're called the Ollie Whites in the
Ollie
Olympics.
Whites.
Actually, come on, Johnny.
Do a research.
But no, yeah, obviously having the family there, and I had my mum and dad at the World Cup as well, which was nice. So they've been with me every step of the way, and it's nice to share my experiences with them.
And it's argued that London 2012 was probably the best Olympics that they've had. To be a part of that is something they can't take away from you.
No, exactly. I mean, obviously, it was really successful, and for the country as well. You know, it was really good that it was held in such high regard from around the world. So, like I say, a great experience and one I'll never forget.
Okay, I think we'll probably end it around there. Tommy, is there a message for the fans who have joined us? I'd say thanks for them getting involved.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Obviously, it's the first one we've done of these, and hopefully there'll be many more to come in the future. So, thank you. Let's go and beat Norwich.
You're welcome. All right, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us, everyone.
Cheers, Johnny.
Ashley, Mary, Matthew, and Ross for being involved, and for everyone who's watching on YouTube and our Google Plus pages, I'd like to say thank you, and keep your eyes peeled, and hopefully we'll have one soon. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.